Welcome to Alaska, USA, Part 1. The morning fog still lingers over the ocean as my boat glides gently past the vivid blue icebergs at Kenai fjords. I am a drifter addicted to the feeling of freedom who has traded city comfort to immerse myself in the last wilderness of America. Alaska is a place where nature still dominates, and humans are just temporary guests. I have sat for hours on the Kenai River to admire the backward stance of the bright red salmon. Wandering in the old forests on Baranof Island, I learned the language of silence. Let's step into this adventure together, not through the lens of a tourist, but through the eyes of a soul finding peace amidst the wilderness. Each frame, each story I share is a genuine piece from the heart. No frills, no embellishments, just the most authentic Alaska. The like button right now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss your next adventures. "6 million acres of pristine forest, Denali, the last green lung of North America." Every step I take at Denali becomes a wonderful discovery. At an elevation of 20,310 feet, Denali rises majestically like a guardian of the wild Alaska region. I experience a sense of smallness before the tallest mountain in North America. The field of wildflowers stretches out after the summer rain, creating an incredible, colorful landscape. This place is home to the giant Alaska brown bear, weighing more than 1,000 pounds, often seen near the streams to hunt salmon. His companion exclaimed that he had never seen a creature so majestic. What makes Denali special is the untouched ecosystem. The feeling of peace when standing in the vast space of 6 million acres is hard to describe. You will encounter herds of caribou and moose moving through the wide valley. Winter here is extremely harsh, with temperatures dropping to -40 degrees Fahrenheit. But in return, you have the opportunity to admire the beautiful northern lights. In summer, the daylight lasts for 20 hours, which creates ideal conditions for exploration. A little tip when visiting Denali is to schedule early from May to September and take the bus trip into the park to see the most wildlife. This is an adventure that you will never forget. Melting glaciers at Kenai fjords witness climate change in Alaska. I stand still in the vastness of Kenai Fjords National Park with my heart full of emotion. The massive ice bay here stretches for 61 miles and is part of the Harding ice field, which is 712 square miles where snow falls 200 inches each year. You will see a clear contrast between Kenai and Denali National Park. While Denali stands out with mountains, Kenai is captivating with glaciers flowing into the sea. The wildlife here adapts to the cold ice, different from the species living in the northern coniferous forests. The sound of each crack of exit glacier echoes as the enormous piece of ice falls into the water. A feeling of amazement rises within me as I witness the power of nature. Poor cell phone coverage is a weakness of Kenai. However, this is an opportunity for you to truly immerse yourself in nature. If you are prone to motion sickness, make sure to prepare medication before your whale watching and sea lion cruise. Summer is a great time for sightseeing, with temperatures ranging from 30 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Visit the Visitor Center in Seward for more information before exploring. One interesting thing is this national park is relatively young, established in 1980, helping to preserve the unique marine ice ecosystem in Alaska. When waving goodbye, I am sure that your soul will always remember the beauty of Kenai fjords. Witness the brown bear's salmon fishing arena at Brooks Falls. Just arrived in Katmai today, I saw the sun in Alaska, casting soft light over the entire 4 million acres of this national park. You know there are more than 2,000 brown bears living here naturally, the most in any conservation area in the United States. My first stop is Brooks Falls, where brown bears gather to catch red salmon jumping up the 6-foot waterfall. Instead of crowding with tourists at zoos, here you can watch bears hunt in a real wilderness environment. A large bear is just standing on the waterfall with its mouth open, catching a jumping salmon like a circus performer catching a ball. The next day, I explored the Valley of 10,000 Smokes, a desolate land after the eruption of Mount Novarupta in 1912. This largest eruption of the 20th century created a 200-foot thick layer of ash over an area of 40 square miles. In the past, the hot steam vents caused the whole valley to look like it was smoking. Do not worry about the cost. I save money by going with a small group and bringing food from Anchorage instead of buying at expensive restaurants in the park. Also, remember to book the bear watching tours in advance for the best spots. With an annual rainfall of 3.8 meters, it's almost as tall as 2 grown adults standing on top of each other. That's the secret of the Tongass temperate rainforest in Alaska. I just took my first step into Tongass National Forest, a temperate rainforest covering more than 16 million acres of wild Alaska. Each breath fills my lungs with the pure air of the ancient wilderness. A mountain range 4,000 feet high appeared before my eyes, and Sitka spruce rose hundreds of feet, forming a lush green canopy. Tongass is completely different from Denali National Park in northern Alaska. Denali is dry with more rocks and earth than vegetation. Tongass, on the other hand, is wet and lush year-round, with more than 150 inches of rain each year. The locals live at a slow pace in harmony with nature. They teach you how to find rare wild mushrooms and watch black bears catch salmon in clear streams. People are always open to sharing ancient stories of the Tlingit people. If you visit, wake up early to see the fog clear in the morning sun. The entrance fee is free, but activities like kayaking around the bay cost from $75 to $100. A great way to save is to go with local people to less crowded routes. Autumn is the best time to visit Tongass. I learned that brown bears often appear around the river in September. It is not brightly luxurious, but Tongass offers a profound experience that few places can match. Why do travelers from around the world flock to the Alaska State Fair every autumn? Under the gentle autumn sun of Palmer, I arrived at the Alaska State Fair. A warm feeling filled me from the moment I walked through the gate, even though the distance of 200 miles from Anchorage is truly not close. This fare is different because of the giant vegetables. You will marvel at the cabbage that weighs more than 100 pounds, pickled mustard greens as big as a truck tire. A pumpkin weighing 1,800 pounds has been recorded. Everyone gathered to take pictures. Children were wide-eyed in amazement. The space is filled with laughter. The aroma from popcorn mingles with the sweet smell of funnel cake. You can enjoy locally grilled salmon or try the flavorful venison that's unique to Alaska. If Disneyland has Mickey Mouse, here you'll find adorable reindeer instead. The animal exhibit area is always bustling with excited children, eager to pet the camels, goats, and bunnies. The 40-foot-tall game Slingshot will take you up into the sky with an amazing thrill. The music performances of local artists and famous artists also attract many audiences. One thing worth noting is that the entrance fee ranges from $15 to $20 depending on the day, but you should arrive early because parking is very limited. Alaska State Fair is not only beautiful but also full of emotions, where the people of the frozen region gather to celebrate the abundant harvest before the long winter begins. 18 hours morning and 800 feet high glacier in bright summer at Knik Glacier, Alaska. I started the adventure to Knik Glacier in Alaska on a day in August. The glacier is 4 miles wide and is located in Chugach Park, only 60 miles east of the city of Anchorage. The glacier stretches from the Chugach Mountains down to the Knik Valley, creating an ice wall 800 feet high. When the sun rises high, the ice turns blue under natural light, a phenomenon that many people call beautiful glacial blue. You can reach Knik Glacier by boat, plane, or helicopter tour. I choose to go by airboat. The feeling is really exciting when gliding past the floating icebergs. In addition, winter in this place attracts dog sled racers and skiing athletes. The difference between Knik and the nearby Exit Glacier is in the level of wilderness. Exit Glacier has been heavily commercialized, while Knik has remained pristine. The temperature year-round is very cold, even during the summer. Alaska only reaches 55 degrees Fahrenheit. I feel anxious when I see glaciers melting quickly due to climate change. The sight of huge ice blocks collapsing makes me feel sad, but also helps me understand more about the fragility of the Earth. A small tip for you is to come at the beginning of summer to enjoy both the ice and the 18 hours of daylight that are characteristic of Alaska. Capture the Northern Lights moment at Hatcher Pass. I left Anchorage and drove 60 miles on mountain roads to find Hatcher Pass. This place is located at an elevation of 5,000 feet above sea level and has the beauty of untouched Alaskan wilderness. This area is famous for the Independence Gold Mine from the year 1930. You can explore 76 wooden buildings that have stood strong through the years. Winter covers with thick snow 30 inches, turning this place into a true backcountry skiing paradise. In summer, Hatcher Pass Road opens completely. I once met a local girl named Lisa. She said, in Palmer, we have mountains and fields of rice. Hatcher Pass has rocks and icy streams. That is correct. The stream here is 27 degrees Fahrenheit, even in the middle of summer. Along the way to the top, there are many stops that allow you to enjoy the panoramic view of the Matsu Valley. Even on rainy days, the fireweed fields bloom in purple, making it enchanting. If you love adventure, you should hike to Mabel Mine. The trail is difficult, but in exchange, you can enjoy the stunning view of the little Chulitna Valley below. Last August, I saw 3 couples taking wedding photos here. Compared to Denali, being overcrowded with tourists, Hatcher Pass still has private space. In winter, remember to bring a fur coat, while in summer, a mosquito repellent is an essential item. Midnight Sun Experience in Palmer. I step off the flight and immediately feel amazed by the sunset at midnight in Palmer. This small city is 39 miles away from Anchorage and is surrounded by the Chugach Mountains with peaks higher than 6,000 feet. You know, Palmer is famous for its giant vegetables due to the phenomenon of 20 hours of daylight each day in the summer. I was amazed to witness a cabbage weighing over 100 pounds at the Alaska State Fair. The local people proudly boast that carrots here can reach up to 4 feet long. Unlike the bustling city of Anchorage, Palmer offers the peaceful charm of rural Alaska. You can enjoy a fresh cup of coffee at Vagabond Blues, then take a stroll through streets lined with architecture from the 1930s. In the morning, I visited the reindeer farm and got my hands licked by the cute reindeer for food. The feeling was completely different from petting the husky dogs in Fairbanks. Everyone in Palmer is extremely hospitable. Jamie shares that we live slower but fuller lives. I realize that here they go to bed early when winter comes, but stay awake all night during summer to enjoy the light. Advice when visiting Palmer: bring a jacket in the summer. Food prices are higher than normal. Some roads are closed in the winter, but it is all worth it when you get to admire the natural beauty of this land. One-of-a-kind World King salmon 90 pounds at Kenai River, Alaska. The river that is 72 miles long originates from Kenai Lake, flows through the Kenai Peninsula before emptying into Cook Inlet. What makes Kenai special is the bluish-green color of the water created by glacial silt. When starting the adventure, I realized that Kenai is not a typical place. This is the kingdom of king salmon with enormous sizes, with fish weighing up to 90 pounds and measuring 60 inches. Compared to the nearby Russian River, Kenai attracts more fishermen due to the record fish. By the river, I often see brown bears searching for a meal of salmon. They move swiftly through the dense forest, just a few feet from people. Unlike the less populated Denali area, Kenai still retains its wilderness, even though it is a famous fishing spot. This summer, the scene of salmon swimming upstream to spawn took my breath away. The water flows strong, but the survival instinct of this fish is stronger than the current. Advice for you when visiting Kenai in winter: at 27 degrees Fahrenheit, rent a boat with a local guide. Although the fee is high at around $200, your safe and unforgettable experience is completely worth it. Taku Glacier and the journey of 1,000 years of ice. The sun has not risen yet, but I have seen the silver blue light coming from the Taku Glacier. With a length of more than 38 miles and a thickness of 1,500 feet, this glacier stands strong through time like a giant white silk ribbon. When participating in the sightseeing flight from Juneau in the morning, I understand why Taku is loved by the people of Alaska. This is the last glacier that is still advancing in the 60 glaciers of the Juneau ice field. Until very recently, it continued to advance completely different from the nearby glaciers that are retreating. Tourist Simon from Canada shares that he has visited many glaciers, but Taku is different. It gives him a feeling of the raw power of nature. I am surprised to know that Taku is the thickest glacier ever measured in the world, containing an extremely large amount of water. When the morning fog disperses, the ice surface appears with deep blue cracks, creating a strange world. Spring is the ideal time to visit. The cost of a scenic flight is around $250, but this experience is worth every penny. Be prepared with warm clothes because temperatures can drop unexpectedly. I left Taku with a heart full of emotions. The surreal beauty of this giant iceberg is a reminder of the limitless power of nature. If you love true wild experiences, press the like button right now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss your next adventures. Rafting experience on Chulitna River, only $100 a day. I am completely overwhelmed by the Chulitna River, a 110 miles long river flowing from the Alaska Range in Denali National Park. You will see the Denali Peak 20,300 feet tall reflecting on the water when the sky is clear. The strong current forced me to hold on tightly to the raft while crossing the Class 3 and 4 rapids. Local guides share that East Fork Chulitna challenges even the most professional raft paddlers with Class 5 rapids. Unlike the bright red Colorado River or the vast Mississippi River, Chulitna possesses the pure wildness of Alaska. I still recognize the smell of Alaska pine in the gentle breeze that awakens the senses. Chulitna offers you three elements: proximity to the highest mountain in North America, rushing water for adventure sports, and the scenery of natural wildlife. Advice for you is do not start your journey from East Fork if you are new to rafting. The cost of renting a raft is about $100 each day. Bring waterproof clothing because the water temperature is always cold even in the middle of summer. Living like the Athabascans by the Tanana River. A winter night in Alaska. I let myself melt into the stillness of the wilderness by the Tanana River. A full moon hung high above, casting a soft glow over the vast taiga forest. No sound of traffic, only the wind whispering through ancient branches. The cold here isn't something to escape from, but something to listen to and understand. The Tanana River is born from two streams, Nabezna and Chisana, like brothers flowing with strength and purpose in the same direction. I lived with the Athabascan people, humans so in tune with nature It feels like the forest runs through their veins. Every day brought a new lesson. They taught me how to hunt on the ice, how to set beaver traps and catch muskrats along the river's tributaries. One thing that amazed me: Alaskans have over 20 different words for snow. The taiga forest surrounding the river is home to thousands of moose and grizzly bears. You might spot a pack of gray wolves standing guard on the cliffs. The locals told me this river still carries the spiritual energy of the Ice Age, where their ancestors lived over 10,000 years ago. Tanana is the cultural heart of Alaska's indigenous people, yet few travelers ever reach it because of its remote location. But if you're seeking the true wilderness, choose Tanana over the crowded tourist paths of Denali. Petersville in the fall is the golden time to hunt for cheap cabins and beautiful scenery. Today I explore Petersville, a small community nestled by the Alaska Range, about 120 miles north of Anchorage. Hidden behind the quiet trails is a white snow paradise for snowmobile lovers during the long winter. Instead of visiting crowded tourist spots like Anchorage, with its fancy restaurants and modern shopping centers, I chose Petersville for its tranquility and wilderness. Here I admired the Denali mountain range, standing at 20,310 feet tall, proudly stretching against the blue, windy sky. The most interesting feeling is when I, along with Brother Bob, a local resident, drive a snowmobile across the empty wilderness. He shares Petersville is really special in winter when snowmobile racers from all over come here. They turn this place into the liveliest gathering spot in the area. Compared to nearby Palmer, Petersville has a strong sense of wilderness. Palmer has giant vegetable farms thanks to summer sunlight lasting 20 hours each day, while Petersville attracts souls who love solitude and challenge. To save costs, you should come here in September, when the rental prices for cabins are the lowest of the year. Petersville is not an easy destination, but that is exactly what makes this place worth visiting, with the most authentic experiences of the Alaskan frontier. Rain Island myth of Alaska. Rain falls relentlessly for 12 months of the year. That is what I have heard about Baranof Island. On the first day stepping foot on this 10th largest island in Alaska, I immediately experienced the legendary dampness. (4,811 feet) is the height of Mount Baranof, the highest point on the island. When I climbed to the halfway point of the mountain, the cold wind from the Pacific Ocean blew into my face, but the view was priceless. In Sitka, the main city of the island, I met Bob, a native Tlingit. He talked about the history of Baranof when it was a Russian territory called Sitka. The stories about the Tlingit people and the Russian colonists fascinated me. Baranof Hot Springs is my favorite spot. The water temperature, 110 degrees Fahrenheit, feels relaxing, while snow is gently falling above. The place is completely natural and secluded, different from the artificial hot springs in big cities. Baranof is not like the warm, sunny beaches of Hawaii or the dry mountains of Montana. This place has the true beauty of Alaska, with mysterious temperate rainforests, rugged coastlines, and abundant wildlife. Life experience fishing for seafood in Unalaska. My first steps on Unalaska Island made my heart feel a strange thrill. The area Dutch Harbor thrives with the industry of fishing for king crab, attracting many people from everywhere. I have heard about this place through the television show Deadliest Catch, but when I saw the boats arriving at the dock, I really understood the harshness of this profession. Makoshin is a volcano that is 6,680 feet tall, always smoldering, white smoke rising into the blue sky. Unlike Maui, Hawaii, where the volcano creates golden sandy beaches, Unalaska has a wild coastline with waves crashing violently against the black cliffs. The native Aleut culture is still preserved through the Museum of the Aleutians. The people here open their hearts and are ready to share their life stories that have been passed down through many generations on this forgotten piece of land. You should come in the summer when the temperature is more pleasant and the daylight lasts for nearly 20 hours each day. Note to avoid the first quarter with strong, unpredictable winds that sometimes make it impossible for airplanes to land. Unalaska is the place where I feel true vitality, where people and nature exist in their most original state. Leave the city, find the silence at a distant harbor. The cold Alaska wind cuts through the bones, making me shiver. But it is also really refreshing. At an altitude of nearly 700 feet, I stand silently gazing at the scenery, my heart filled with a sense of freedom that few places can provide. In the early morning, the fog envelops the harbor. The cheerful laughter of fishermen preparing to go out to sea warms the heart in the cold weather. "20 miles from the mainland, the initial isolation makes me feel a little scared, but then quickly becomes what I love most about this place. When trying seafood at the local restaurant, I almost cried because it was unexpectedly delicious. The fresh halibut caught just a few hours ago had a sweet and fresh flavor that made me realize the clear difference compared to Seattle. Freezing in the middle of a sub-zero winter, I sometimes asked myself why I ever chose to come here. Then suddenly the northern lights would appear, and I'd stand there in awe, eyes welling up with tears at the sheer, magical beauty. Walking along the remaining bunkers from World War II, I shiver as I feel the painful history that is still intact. Touching the cold walls, I feel as if I can hear echoes from the past. The journey to Dutch Harbor took a lot of effort, but I have never regretted it. This place gives me a sense of belonging that is hard to find at modern tourist spots, where people just hurry to take pictures and then leave. Google lied about the best time to Summer Bay. Unlike the busy beaches in Hawaii, Summer Bay has its own quiet beauty. Morning fog wraps around the old cedar trees, creating a scene like an ink wash painting. If you like food, you should try the smoked salmon at the small roadside shop. It is not as fancy as French restaurants. The locals grill the fish over pine wood, keeping the natural sweet flavor. A small tip: arrive before noon to avoid waiting a long time. The price is only about $15 for a filling meal. Do not hesitate to walk 3 miles along the dark sandy shore. You will encounter sparkling freshwater lakes that look like glass. I once accidentally came across a family of beavers building a dam. That moment made my heart feel tight. ... But be cautious. The tide here rises faster than you think. I almost got stuck on the rock outcrop to the east because I was too busy taking pictures of the sunset. ... The locals are not talkative, but their eyes are unusually warm. They teach me how to start a fire using dried seaweed, a valuable survival trick for anyone wanting to camp overnight. Be sure to bring a waterproof jacket. The rain in Alaska can come unexpectedly, like how love appears without warning. When the wooden boat took me away from the dock, the salty taste of the sea breeze still lingered on my lips. Summer Bay is not a paradise of color. It is beautiful in its own way, like the footprint of a wolf imprinted on the snow, fleeting yet hauntingly unforgettable. The $10,000 question: is shaishnikof worth risking it all? When the airplane landed in Unalaska, I knew I was about to embark on a different journey. The Shaishnikof River is not the longest river in Alaska, but 9 miles winding through Unalaska Island is enough to make anyone stop. The river flows to the northeast, dyeing the silver gray of the Aleutian sky, pouring into Natikan Bay since 1951. I walk along the rocky shore, my feet touching the soft moss, the cold feeling creeping through my shoes. This is not a place for those afraid of loneliness. You will not find a coffee shop or paved roads, only steep cliffs and the wide open sky. I learned that going to Shaishnikof River in the month of August is the best. At this time, the light fog lifts, revealing layers of pebbles under the gentle golden sunset. Be sure to bring binoculars, because the sea lions often gather near the river mouth, creating a lively scene amid the quiet nature. Compared to famous tourist spots, Shaishnikof River does not have luxury services or convenient paths. You have to walk more than 30 minutes from the center of the island through pristine meadows. But that very difficulty is the reward. The weather here changes as quickly as a child cries and laughs. The Shaishnikof River teaches me a lesson about patience, because true beauty is always hidden behind challenges. So, are you ready to continue writing your own journey? Loneliness in the vast sky, only 10 people per mile. When stepping onto the boat, the cold breeze from the Bering Sea made me shiver. This place is a witness of history of the first voyages, from the 18th century when Captain Lavashev of the Russian Navy set foot here and named this land. I stop at the port of Dutch Harbor, where more than 90% of Alaska fishing boats choose as a transfer point. April and October are the ideal times to see the large boats full of salmon avoiding the thick, foggy days of summer. In the distance, the wreck of the SS Northwestern lies tilted as a reminder of the air raid in 1942, when war reached this seemingly peaceful sea. You can find the bronze propeller of the ship at the Unalaska Memorial Park. A little advice from me is to come at dawn when the surface of the water is covered in shades of pink and orange, and the sound of humpback whales echoes from afar. If you love silence and want to escape the noise of the city, this is the destination for you. Listen to the sound of the waves, feel the breath of the ocean, and let Captain's Bay tell you stories that have never been written in words. World War II. Forbidden relics are open. You must go before it is too late. Follow me down from the car as we navigate a 1.5 miles of rugged rocky trail until Morris Cove reveals itself like a forgotten page in Alaska's diary. Faint impressions in the earth, the subtle remains of ancient Unalaska homes, make you hold your breath the moment your foot brushes against them. The fine sand beach stretches for more than 300 feet, hugging the waves where the red fox peeks out from the willow bushes, the descendants of the camp from the 1940s that once failed amid the smoke and fire of war. I pick up a rusty pebble, perhaps from the cannon that the American soldiers built long ago to guard the strait. The peak of the journey is the valley, where the herd of wild horses 5 feet tall is grazing. They stop to look at you with curiosity, their manes blowing in the wind like a reminder of the 1970s. Bring some carrots and you will be met with a warm nudge of their noses, but remember not to feed them too much, because they need to maintain their natural behaviors. If you love silence, you will be enchanted by the self-pitched tents by the river. If you enjoy adventure, the 12-mile trail to the summit of Split Top will challenge your legs. A small piece of advice is to drive a car. Avoid winter when the roads are frozen, and do not touch any strange objects. The archaeological site here needs to be kept intact. When the small airplane left the wild land of Alaska, I pressed my face against the window, regrettingly looking back at the stretch of land that had stolen a part of my heart. Below Tongass remained silent, with the ancient cedar trees standing firm through centuries of storms, silent witnesses of time. My journey did not have enough time to reach the bright blue ice surface of Knik Glacier, or indulge in the breathtaking beauty of Taku Glacier. I had to miss the clear water of Summer Bay, where it is said that one can see to the bottom of their soul. And the fields of wildflowers at Hatcher Pass are still waiting for me in a not-too-distant day. If what I share has touched your heart even a little bit, please show it by liking and subscribing to the channel right now. Do not forget to turn on notifications to join me in the next adventures. My journey is not over, and perhaps Alaska will never truly leave me. Those mountains and those rivers will continue to exist within me, as proof that in this world, there are still places where people can find themselves. Have you ever wondered what it's like to stand before a 1,000-year-old glacier? In the next video, I'll take you to one of the most magical places in Alaska in the upcoming Part 2. Imagine a turquoise ice wall taller than a 13-story building, nearly 2 kilometers wide, gliding silently like a giant crystal river. That's Mendenhall, a perfect artwork nature spent over 3,000 years crafting. What blew me away wasn't just its massive size, but its eerie sounds, ice cracking like thunder. Now, as these glaciers gradually disappear due to climate change, capturing and cherishing them has become more meaningful than ever. Tap the video that will appear at the end of the screen in just a few seconds, and join us as we explore these incredible wonders together.